Hello dear students, up till now we have completed conditional control statement, that is if conditions as well as switch case. There are two types of control structures as we have discussed in our previous session, the conditional control structure and looping control structure. The conditional control structure portion we have already completed. Let us start with the looping control structure. There are three types of looping: for, while and do while. We have already studied this portion in C language. So let us just revise the topics once again. Suppose, what is the requirement of looping control structure? Consider the situation where you want to print hello 5 times on the screen. Suppose I want to print hello world on the screen. So for that, what I need to do? Cout hello world. Same way, 5 times I need to write cout statement. Is it yes or not? Are you agree with this or not? Okay, fine. Consider the situation where instead of 5 times I want to print 100 times. So in such situation, see, statement is same in all the conditions. That means I want to print hello world repetitive number of times. Is it clear to everyone? This is the requirement of looping control structure. That means once any statement is there which you want to perform repeated number of times, at that time you can use the concept of looping. No need to repeat the given statements number of times. You just need to use any of the given loop and you can write the given statement at once only. No need to repeat once again the number of times, how many times you want to print. You just need to write the whatever loop you want to take. Now any loop, either it is for, either it is while or do while loop, this 3 loop contains 3 portions: initialization, condition and increment or decrement. That means what would be the initialization, what is the condition, and I have to perform either increment or decrement. These 3 things you need to decide. Let us apply this in our program. See over here, what is our requirement? We just need to print hello world 5 times. Let us take for loop. We are starting with the first type of loop, that is for loop. So for loop, I need to decide that what is the initialization, what is the condition, and what is the increment or decrement I need to perform. So syntax of for is like this. First of all, that is the part of initialization, then semicolon, condition, and then increment or decrement portion you need to do. Over here also, like if condition, don't put semicolon over here, otherwise it will stop your loop. It will not go inside the loop. So you just remove this semicolon. It is not there in the syntax of for loop. Let us repeat once again the requirement of looping control structure. There are 2 types of control structure: conditional control structure and looping control structure. Conditional control structure is divided into the 2 main parts, that is if and switch. Looping control structure has 3 parts, that is for, do while and while. Each and every loop contains 3 portions. three sections you need to decide what is the initialization, what is the condition, and either you do increment or decrement into the variable. So here we will start with the first loop. We are going to see the programs related with the for loop, right? Today, in our today's session, we are going to perform our programs using for loop. So we just need to declare the variable initialization, condition, increment or decrement. My statement is what? I want to print hello world. So let me put inside the loop that in any initialization, condition or increment or decrement, I just want to print hello world. I am using \n over here so that it will go into the single new line, right? So now let me decide over here for how many times I want to print hello world on the screen. That is 5 times. So let me take one integer variable I equals to 1. That is initialization. Initialization means starting value, from where you want to start your loop. Then I less than or equals to 5, I plus plus. So what happens, how this loop is executed? Let us repeat that thing. Initially the value of I is 1. It checks 1 with the 5. So 1 less than or equals to 5. The condition is true. In such situation, it will go into the inside the loop, go into the new line, and it will print hello world. Again, I plus plus, value of I was 1. Now it is incremented by 2. Again it will check the condition 2 less than or equals to 5. The condition is true. That's why again it executes the statements which is written inside the loop. And it will print hello world in the new line. Again it performs increment, that is I plus plus. I becomes 3 now. 3 less than or equals to 5. That means condition is true. Again it will print in this way for the fifth one. Fifth is 5 is less than or equals to 5. Condition is true. 5 times it will print hello world on the screen. Again loop is executed. I plus plus, the value of I was 5. Now it is incremented by 1. That means 6. 6 less than equals to 5. Condition is not true. That's why it stops the execution of the loop. So in this way loop is executed. You can say that loop is repetitive process. When you want to execute some statements for a number of repeated times, at that time you can use the concept of looping. There are 3 types of loop available in C++, that is for loop, while loop and do while loop. Each has their own individual syntax which you need to follow. Syntax is nothing but it is a set of rules, right? So you just need to follow whatever syntax is given by the particular loop. Right now we are starting with the for loop. As I have told you, each and every loop contains 3 parts. That means you need to decide that what is the initialization of your variable, what is the condition of your variable, or either you perform increment or decrement on your variable, right? So initialization is nothing but it is a starting value of your loop execution. Condition is what? Up till the condition is true, that many times loop is executed. Over here I just want to print hello world 5 times on the screen. That's why I have taken the value of I, or we can say I have initialized the value of I by 1 up to the I less than or equals to 5. and I perform I plus plus. When first time loop is executed, at that time I is 5. After that the value of I would be 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Up to 5 that is okay. After execution of that line, I becomes plus plus. That means the value of I would be 6. 6 is not less than or equals to 5. The condition is false. After condition is getting false, the loop is executed at last, and it will print 5 times hello world on the screen, and it stops the execution of the loop. Right? So let us implement this program in the Turbo C compiler. Let us start with the first program. Example of for loop. For loop, or you can write like this also, print 5 times hello on the screen. Either you print hello world, or you can write your name 5 times, whatever statements you want to print, you can write in the cout statements. Let us include include iostream.h has include conio.h. as we are having a requirement to use clear screen and get ch function over here, that's why I have used conio.h. If you people run your program using online GDB compiler, at that time you don't require to include or mention conio.h, as I have seen, I have given you that example in the video of how to execute or compile online programs. In that you just don't need to write iostream.h. h is not there in the syntax of GDB compiler, right? So there is a minor difference between the C++ compiler and GDB compiler. So you can run our all programs in the GDB compiler. Just remove clear screen and get ch from our code, and in between the 2 curly brackets of void main, you just need to copy the given code and paste it into the GDB compiler. And remember one thing, it contains integer main. That means you need to return some value to the main. That's why GDB compiler has return statement written over there. Return 0 is there. Don't remove that line, right? So that you can easily compile your program. Now integer I clr for loop I equals to, okay, let me repeat, let me write comment line over here for the syntax, so that you people can easily understand that what are the portion of for loop. There are three partition of for loop. For loop is divided into the 3 categories, we can say: initialization, condition, and increment or decrement. So initialization, condition, increment or decrement. Now let us write value of I equals to 1, I less than or equals to 5, I plus plus. Let me repeat once again over here, don't put semicolon at the last of the bracket of for loop, right? Otherwise it stops the execution of your program. Cout \n. You can also use endl operator over here. Hello. Let me save this program by pressing F2 key. This is the program number 28. This is the first program of our today's session. Let us run this program by pressing Ctrl F9. We forgot to write get ch over here. let me include that thing. 5 times it prints hello on the screen. Loop is nothing but it is a repetitive process. Now let us take one more program related with the for loop. Instead of printing hello 5 times on the screen, I just want to print 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 on the screen. That in that program, what is the changes? Can you guess that what is the changes we need to perform in the program? Let me give you one hint. We just need to change this line, right? Instead of hello, can you tell me? See over here, the value of I is going to be changed. First time it is 1, second time it is 2. So you just simply need to print the I variable over here, nothing else. This program remains as it is. You just need to print I variable instead of hello. So let us take one more file. Example of for loop. Print 1 to 5 on screen. Whatever comment line you can give. Has include iostream.h, has include conio.h, void main, 2 brackets, clear screen and get ch. Let me repeat it first time because in previous program we have forgot to return it, right? So again I am not going to write syntax over here because I hope you people understand the syntax of the for loop. Less than or equals to 5, I plus plus, 2 brackets, cout. For new line I have to put backslash n and simple print I. If you want to use AND operator, then you can concat the string like this. You just need to remember that backslash n code is there, as well as you can write AND operator directly. No need to use double quotations over here. Just directly you can use AND operator. Now let us save the given program. P29.C++. We are still in the chapter number 1 only, right? You need to write this all programs in the journal. When college reopens at that time, we will definitely check within 2 to 3 days, right? So you people need to write down in the journal. See over here, the output is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Here no need to write any percentage code and all which is there in the scanf. You can directly print the variable over here. As we know, a lot of time we have printed the variable on the screen, right? So this is a very easy program you can perform. So this is the simple program of for loop. We have performed 2 programs. Number 1, print hello on the screen 5 times using for loop, and print 1 to 5 on the screen using for loop. Now let us take example of nested loop. What is nested loop? Do you remember that? The loop inside loop, that is called nested loop, right? And nested loop means what? There are 2 types of loop, no? In that, so the loop which is declared outside, that is known as outer loop, and the loop within which another loop is declared, that loop is known as inner loop. So generally this type of 4 inside 4 is used for printing a particular pyramid patterns are there. Lot of patterns we have discussed in the C language and many times we have learned it, right? So you just need to recall the programs. Here I have taken some of the programs from the C language. As see, these all are the revisions we are doing. Our actual C++ is not started yet, so we just need to revise these things, right? So if you want to perform more programs based on the looping control structure, you just convert that programs from the journal of C language, right? All the programs you can perform in C++ also, but there is a limitation of having a time, right? That's why I have not performed all the programs over here. I am just giving you the glimpse of the programs, right? So let us start with the nested of loop. Example of nested for loop. We can say that print pyramid has include iostream dot h has include conio dot h void main clear screen get ch. Now we require to have two loops at a time, so we just need to declare two variables over here, I and j. Now we need to write two loops, so let me give the comment line over here that this loop is known as the outer loop. For I equals to 1, I less than or equals to 5, I plus plus. For j equals to 1, j is less than or equals to 5, j plus plus. I want to print the star, or we can say asterisk, on the screen, and here let me write cout and \n. First of all, let me save the given code. This is the program number 30, p30.c++. Now one more thing I have forgot to write over here. Let me give the comment line inner loop so that you people can easily understand the concept. Okay, now predict the output. What will be the output of this program? Just predict. Okay, how many times outer loop is going to be executed? That is of 5 times, and similarly inner loop is also going to execute 5 times. We can say this is the loop which executes the row, this is the column, this represents the column, right? So this is used for the row. How many row are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 row were there because the value of I is 1 to 5, right? Similarly, how many columns are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Why? Because the value of j equals to 1 to 5. Is it clear to everyone? Now, what is our printing statement? That is the asterisk sign. So first of all, loop is executed. The value of I equals to 1. Similarly, value of j equals to again 1. So 1 less than or equals to 5, condition true. 1 less than or equals to 5, condition true. So in this situation, it is going to be, the statement is going to be executed, and first asterisk prints on the screen. After that, what is the which variable's value is going to change? The value of I or value of j? And what is the result? I have lot of time, I have discussed this in the class, in the C language, right? So see, definitely unless and until the value of j is not going to be false, that number of times the value of I remains as it is. So we can say that I equals to 1 up till the value of j equals to 1 to 5, right? So here as 5 times asterisk is printed on the screen. Am I right or not? So consider over here, see, the value of I is 1 and value of j is 1 to 5. So 5 times asterisk is printed. Similarly, now the value of j becomes 6. In this condition, the condition is false. So this stops the execution of loop j. Now what is the statement we have written over here? \n. So it will go in this location, right? After that, again it goes into the I variable. I is 1. Now I plus plus. I is incremented by 1 and I becomes 2 now. Again in that situation, the value of j would be 1 to 5. That means this second line is executed, and again for the 5 times the asterisk is printed on the screen. Again the value of j becomes 6 and condition is getting false. It comes out of the loop and the next statement is \n. So it will go into the third line, and again in this way it will print 5 times asterisk on the screen. Let us run this code. Let me remove the given explanation first, then I will run the given code. I hope you people understand whatever I am delivered from here. Let us run the given code. See over here, the asterisk is displayed 5 times on the screen in the row and column format. Okay, now suppose I want to print one asterisk in first line. Suppose over here I want output like this. In first line I want one asterisk, then my requirement is of 2, then 3, then 4 and 5. This is my requirement, right? So for that, consider the same program. Right now we are having on the screen. Just consider the same program and predict that where we need to make the correction. Can anybody guess? We just need to make a correction over here because I want to run the program for the first time. See, if I put I over here, so my value of I is 1, right, for the first time. So this loop is executed 1 to 1. Then value of I is 2. So loop is executed from 1 to 2. So for 2 times this loop is executed, and in this way, let me run the given code. I am not going to type all the programs once again. I hope you people understand the whole programs, right? We did not make any changes in the program. We just make a change or correction over here. Instead of 5 in the previous program, we just apply the value of I variable over here. Let us run the given code. You can see the output. This is the very simple program, right, which you can perform easily. So in this way you can make the changes in the either initialization, either the condition, or in the increment or decrement. You just need to decide whether I want to increment my variable or I want to decrement my variable. Suppose if there is any mistake inside the initialization or condition or increment or decrement of your loop, at that time there is a chances to that your loop is executed infinitely. So do take care of that things, right? Let me share the notepad file regarding our today's session. This is the first program of our today's session, the program number 28 that you need to write in your journal. Even don't forget to write comment lines, because it is very helpful for you people, right? At the time of exam you just directly refer it. So don't forget to write this comment line. This is the program number 28. Print hello 5 times on the screen using for loop. The second program is related with the printing 1 to 5 using for loop, right? So we just make a changes. Instead of hello, we just print I on the screen. The third program we have performed, that is program number 30, that is related with the printing of pyramid, right? Nested means what? The loop inside loop, it is called nested loop. The outer loop is called, which is declared outside the loop, and the loop which is declared inside other loop, that is called inner loop. And remember one thing, in the nested looping structure you just need to keep in the mind that until your inner loop is not false, unless and until the value of outer loop, that means I remains as it is, there is no changes in the outer loop value, right? So after the condition is getting false in the inner loop, the value of I is changed, and once the value of I is changed, the value of j remains again as it is. That means again the value of j becomes 1, and loop is executed from the 1 to 5 times in this situation, right? So this will print 5 times 5 row, 5 column and 5 asterisk on the screen. This is the last program of our today's session, that is we just make a changes over here. Instead of 5 in the our previous program, we just mention the I variable over here, right? Why? Because I want to print asterisk on the screen. For the first time only 1 asterisk is required, for the second time 2 asterisk is required, in this way. So for the number of row means I, for the number of row I have put condition like j less than or equals to I. So in this way you can print the pyramid on the screen, and as I have told you, if any mistake is there in the either the initialization or condition or increment or decrement in the variable, at that time you may face a problem of infinite loop. So be careful while you write the program and give the proper values to the variable. So this is all about the looping structure. We have just performed 4 programs in our today's session, 2 regarding the simple for and 2 regarding the nested for. Still we have 3 programs which is based on the nested for loop. After that we will see the do while loop and while loop. This is more than enough for today. Please perform the programs using online GDB compiler. You just need to write your programs into the notepad file so that you can directly copy it and paste it into the online compiler, right? So, and if you people face any problem during the online compiling your program, then you can message me on my WhatsApp number. Thank you all.